looking even across all the other regions and stuff, Global has been extremely good in their trading and their understanding of the information game and their rotations. I mean, everything they're doing is extremely high level.
I mean, you have to remember, this is a team that still has yet to have made a playoffs in Pacific throughout the entire run since 2023, but this is looking like the stage. It's looking like the year where they are assured to make that happen, and potentially even find themselves at their first global event. Given the form that they are in, given what Frost has been able to achieve, steadying the squad and making them flexible more and more so week over week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked what he said about, you know, making sure that his players didn't feel like they had to do too much, that they had to trust in each other. When he was being interviewed on the desk earlier, I see that. I see a lot of that in their play.
Better, can you float? I have a catch there. Okay, bang. Single box. Okay.
Look at the read again here for Global. Changing it up, leaning towards the B side of the map.
One B.
1B.
He's click on you.
Call for mid.
King trick.
Oh, Rage is there.
How many?
Only one. Two. Here. Raise here.
Berserk's calling for 2. It is a bit more than that. 3 there as they're trying to get the crunch play here on a Patman. We'll send out the Sync Bite so they get that bit of util out of him.
Recovering it.
That could just be the full counter rotate again for Global Esports. Back across, join in with the Viper. Looks like Javi, bit of a fake up into mid. He's back into sewers, and Global Esports will once again have their eyes on A.
Yeah, I like the change up here with the Cypher setups in particular, giving them a little bit more ability to get a little bit earlier information, leave Jesse on his own to try to get info A, but again, Global Esports has wrapped over here now. And there goes Jesse.
Dead, here's the pickup on the orb. Uttar now with a showstopper online. Swinging to the corner, Sylvan able to find Patman, however, regaining control over ramps. Spike can come through, but what is Team Secret going to do to try to get the retake going? That's showstopper in play. The evolution already popped by Autumn. Sync Bite to be thrown, push into the out into the open. Kelly, yes, will be able to find the one before getting taken down. But there's the dink. Uttar finding the second, gets the re-hit on the head of Sylvan. Sprays down for a third. Berserk's now having to back away, go for the save, retain this Vandal, as Global Esports will maintain perfection.
Again, they're just so smart on the map. Getting a little bit of info, kind of throwing some utility over towards B to keep Team Secret interested on that side, and then just slowly making their way over towards A, obscuring a lot of their movements, not giving up the ability for Team Secret, who doesn't push out onto A after clearing that space early in the round. Jesse decides to tuck back into A site, and they have no idea that it could be coming A anytime soon. So I'd like to see if they're going to set up that kind of similar formation, that Jesse needs to be a little bit more proactive with the Sky to try to keep A main control so he can get those rotates over a little bit faster. Uttar just very clean, very steady with the aim. Doesn't overreact to much. He's been even better this stage than he has been in some ways. I mean, at times, yeah, he's been up and down, but so far he's been very, very clean.
We're pushing forward for that garage control, and they will have it.
So now I want to see it maintained. This is more of what I want to see. Use some of this Sky to make sure that you're keeping track. Now, again, GE is purposely sending you false info by showing you the raise there. So it makes it really tough for Team Secret to try to figure out what's going on. But I think just hold the line here until you're forced off of this position is a much better decision and a great win for Rimuru.
Really good kill to be picked up. Javi still on struggle street, I believe, yet to get on the board. Uttar, however, is going to be caught with util in hand potentially. No, the swing going to be coming in, but it's going to be Jesse Bash collecting him with a headshot. Sylvan at the same time, back over on A, finds Patman at the same time.
They're going to use the Seekers to lead the way.
We'll just guide them straight over towards A heaven. One around for Secret to come alive, get themselves on the board. Clear out on those, the drop down. Crystal knows that he's got to make noise. A double take there as he spots out Kelly S. Ready to re-swing out, will end up falling on him. Able to find Rimuru at the same time, and Crystal comes away with a third. Now suddenly it's just Jesse Bash once again asked to clutch this one out, and he will not be able to do so. Close but no cigar. Global Esports on the back of Crystal, who is playing a perfect game, 8-0-1 at the moment. They get themselves a 6-0 start now.
This is one of the best rounds in terms of the macro for Team Secret, but now you're getting out microed, getting outplayed. Really well handled by Jesse and the newcomer to Team Secret, but man, oh man. Autumn very clean, but Crystal absolutely fearless. They were trying to pinch him there, outside elbow. He was having none of it.
Okay, well, able to avoid that seize. Minor bit of damage, going to be some pain shells. Sylvan otherwise healthy. Back into a buy for Team Secret.
You're giving up so much space over at A ramp, and you're trying to rely on a extra further forward trip this time to give Berserks a little bit of extra ability to react if Global Esports does try to commit towards that A site. So again, change up some of the Cypher util, try to make some adjustments to what Global Esports is trying to bring, but I mean, Global Esports right now, happy to spread the map, look for some info, see if they can catch anybody. Ooh, Jesse.
Yeah, you back away now.
Don't want to mess with that op. Don't know if its presence has been revealed, but certainly something you could anticipate with the economy, of course, that Global Esports has been able to build up, winning 6 in a row. Again, you're going to see the op now, but that's not great info because you're like, okay, is he alone with the op? Is it something else going on? And they're going to try to sell a fake on the other side of the map and seemingly pivot over.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the setup, you know, Autumn could just cross-cut his way back around the map. So will be a quick little peek around the back of the pillars. Sylvan playing forward. The time is starting to dwindle. 11 seconds remaining. I don't think that they have this. There's still Berserks on the side. Patman going to be stirring things up. Finds 2 kills on the opposite side of the map, but that spike needs to get planted right now. Okay, now they just need to frag their way through this. But they're not going to be able to find the last player. Kelly S. still over on the other side of the map. And what a round, and what a way for Team Secret to get their first round win.
Huh.
By no... What's the word I'm looking for here? Because I'm not no fault of their own.
No cause of their own?
Yeah, I suppose so. The Global just took way too damn long.
Yeah, this felt like a crazy guy round.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, remember when he first came into Pacific for RRQ and he was like outrageously slow?
Here's the question though, is this a global timeout? Because I think it might be.
I bet it is.
No, it's not, okay.
Oh, okay.
It is going to be Team Secret. And I think that, you know, obviously this makes sense. Prior, this could have been called at the beginning of the round when it looked like this was not going to end up going your way.
Right.
So, makes sense to call it, even though it's the second one in the first half. You need to get some rounds on the board. And that's also, if you're Secret, not the way you want to be getting your first round win.
No. This is also the side of the map you chose as Secret. So, like, you got to get something done here on this defender side. And you wouldn't imagine going to get any easier on the attack side for you. So I think, again, for me, what I'd be looking for here from Secret is just fight for A main control. I don't care if you lose bodies to it. Play for trades at the very least, and because that's a real part of the map that is giving you absolute creep. When you give up that space, that's where GE is able to explode onto the bottom and the top of A, and it's just not going so hot. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that, but their game plan has been pretty passive.
Okay, I wait your util path, okay? Call me power.
You guys go.
For a fast hit, eventually.
I'll see if that's
Sky
mid.
flash A. Sorry, let's contact this.
Okay, let's contact.
Smoke down, boys.
Go recon ramp
Mid
right
ulti,
now.
guys, mid ulti.
Going for the scale here, the Haunt out on the ramp. Berserk's around the corner, Jesse Vash there with him. Little reposition, ready to send that flash through. But he did push the wall at the back of this. The answer is going to be yes. And it is into a shooting gallery as Uttar comes away with 2, and Patman is able to find 1 as well. The right read, but the wrong play. Team Secret completely caught. Now Patman well within their spawn. Intercepts Sylvan.
Spike planted.
Kelly is situated in mid, likely to be caught as well, and he will. What a flawless return here from Global Esports. And I mean, I imagine that Frost was annoyed that they melons the previous round, but now he's got to have a big smile on his face because not only did they get the follow-up win, it wasn't even their timeout call.
Oh, they were having a grand old time in the coach's booth, even though, you know, one round went bad. Okay, you lost the time, so what? Just right back to it. and just a contact play that went very much in Global Esports' favor. They're just not having the best time. And they're just not really finding the right answers. And now they're doubling down again that they're going to go for the hard read on B. Looking for the punish there with an outlaw, but Dimadu has his ult, has a shorty. Not much he can do right now in terms of trying to fight that battle until Global Esports commits to something, you would think. That means you get a little bit of further forward util here. Has the veto, and that allows you to claim some space in mid. Slow, methodical work. Global Esports is being so thoughtful about how to approach the map.
Little jump peek, haunt out, quick clear. Just be the double back away from Global Esports at Garage. Some scale forward and control of that space for Team Secret.
They're just going to buy it. I mean, Team Secret's grouped up 3 here. They have no mail control. And Autumn's just like, hey, bros.
They might end up getting surprised how many players are here in Garage. As Javi setting up that smoke.
30 seconds
He's
left.
holding him at bay as there's the push forward. It's able to find the transfer. No, cannot finish off Sylvan. Takes him down to 8 HP, but now the Nightfall's going to be going through. Dodged by the 1. Sylvan tucked into the corner. Has the thread, leading Uttar right to his very location. Clean up to come in. Now the pivot from Jesse Vash. Remember, trying to get their way over, but even with the overdrive available, there's just not enough damage dealt. It was a 2v3, perhaps. Be more willing to try to invest that, but Jesse will go on the peak.
Go, go, go.
He will go 6 feet under.
Fine. Go, go, go.
Taunt gets the reveal. Remember, just hoping that somebody pushes him here so he can put this shorty to use.
Sure if he heard those footsteps behind him or not, it doesn't matter because it's an outlaw. So it is not looking good. Everything Team Secret has tried has been very well handled. But again, you're giving up so much space on the map, and GE will just take it. The confidence is through the roof for them right now, so every decision they make, they're going to be happy to try to challenge you on.
One enemy.
And I don't know. It almost feels like you might as well just wrap this one up already. It's 8 rounds on an attacker's side with single duelist. Gonna be tough.
The showstopper to lead the way out of the B site. Tripwire will get the connection here, and you're just going to be checking the backside of that box. This is all a fake. Sylvan, however, holding the line today. Funny one. I say it's a fake. He's got the spike. Was this intentional?
But look how much respect Team Secret is paying to this.
Well, now they okay, so they're sending the Omen ult in to reinforce this. I'm curious if Yudo meant to have the spike. Because it feels like he wasn't, given how many players on the A side of the map.
I don't know, but I mean,
That or Patman was supposed to kill Sylvan, and then that was going to draw all the attention back to A, but now you do have Team Secret stacked up in the right positions. Prowler forward, getting the grab, and Ramiro on the slide is able to find Crystal. Might even be his first death of this map. Ramiro able to find a second. Hobby looking for a second of his own, but Kelly S will be able to sit him down, and now it is just Autumn. As this one looks a bit overcooked from Global Esports. And again, okay, Jesse Vash will be able to find the headshot, and Team Secret will get themselves a second round win.
yeah, I mean, again, I think this is more Global Esports just being too crafty for their own good. Kind of like they're reading into the fact that, okay, every time we've shown Patman by himself on the other side of the map on A, it's turned out we've been in force behind him. So this time we're going to show something different, and we've shown fakes on B with the raise into pivots towards A, but this time we're going to commit to it and then have that TP there to move over. I don't like it, but I think I kind of get it. I'm not saying it's...
I'd be curious about it.
I'm not saying it's fully baked.
If Bella's doing a coach interview after this map, I would love to know if that was the intent, but straightforward. Autumn, oh, nearly has the lineup here for them, but Kelly S just cannot find the kill. Damage on Autumn even not going to matter. Shrugs that off as the evolution just tops him back up. Quick rotations though, Team Secret trying to get themselves into position, but once again, as they push out of this alley position, they're falling to the wayside. Berserks with two clean kills, but quickly it will then fall, and that leaves just Sylvan left to his own devices, having to tuck away and save that rifle for the last round of the half. So Global, once again, not allowing for Secret to string anything back to back.
Yeah, I think just going into something safe and steady, just use your numbers. You know, Team Secret just leaves Kelly S on his own with a little bit of Cypher util to help him, but the numbers overwhelm him. Zerk's just trying to do what he can on site, but everybody else gets shut down trying to help him out. I just pound for pound, the way that Global Esports trades, I mean, this is something that really impressed me last week. It's just every time you tried to go for a fight against them, you better be ready with multiple players, because you're gonna need the ability to have, you know, those good trades there, because they're gonna have it. So again, the solid fundamentals
Last
that
round
Global
in the
Esports has been
half.
showing. Tough to deal with, and as a solo, even with a little bit of help from a tripwire, you can't even get one there. It's Kelly S. I mean, it's rough pickings out there, to say the least. Look at how they swing together there. Oh, Yudo's so ready for that slide through. I mean, it's just a meat grinder when you're trying to come out of a tight angle like that, even as a Neon.
The last round of the half, Secret. Either that 9-3, hoping for a curse, or it's going to be a 2-10 score line for them. Pit available for the post plant. Neural theft, as well as that cognitive divide available for Team Secret, but they're going for a gamble stack once again, pushing down mid. Even to try to have a wrap around the back, but
Welcome to my
GE
world.
with that pit in play, gonna look to make this pretty unassailable. They've got a trip
Spike
holding the back
planted.
for now. Gonna have to clear this one out. So they're aware of some presence. There's the flash not gonna be coming through. Uttar does eat the brunt of that. Bobby tucked away on the corner, not going to be scouted by this Trailblazer. Really, but will be able to find the sun to slide in. It's going to be Crystal coming away with a kill onto Rimuru. Hobby dropping down some heals, pushed out, trying to get Kelly S back up to full with a swing in the corner. Hobby able to find one. Sylvan taken down. Berserk still on that approach, but Jesse Bash able to steady the spray. Down the enemy Omen, gets him back into a 3v3, but the pit is still staring them in the face. And Patman's punching it,
Last player
but to
standing.
no avail. Ends up getting taken down, but time is just not going to be there. I don't believe had never gotten it up to half. And now they just barely have it.
Oh.
Unbelievable. .51 to make it a 3-9 scoreline for Team Secret.
Switching sides.
That was squeaky bum time.
It was. This whole round was just, I thought, oh man, Team Secret, you're gonna have such a hard time getting into this. And Berserk makes so much noise. He drops down from the top, breaks his ankles on the ground. Patman hears it. He's like, I bet I could punish this. And actually ends up getting punished. Berserk went spraying in there and somehow just reacted to him popping out of the smoke. A bizarre first half. Some of the rounds that Team Secret won, you didn't really feel like they should have. We're just being honest, but they did. At 3, it's hard to imagine again that on this attacker side that you're going to be able to do much more damage. Must-win pistol as Team Secret. Let's see what they've got cooked up. I'm a big Uttar fan. Has been garnering, I'm sure, many, many more fans. The way he's been playing this year. Guy is nuts.
I'm now just hoping that curses are in fact real. Needs to start here from the pistol. Go into that second half. Let's see if Secret can collect it. Run this back.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot. That is about all you can really say, to be honest. It's just gonna be kind of hard to imagine, but we'll see. Infinite universes and all that. Flash up over the top. Deep cages set up. Baiting a little bit of a reaction out. You know somebody there's top ramp. As Team Secret, what do you want to do with that information? You should know as well with the flash, I think, that somebody's playing a site. So you know it's a crossfire. It's got to be ready to break it. Now you know for sure.
Paranoid is sent out. Some space is going to be given up, and fast rotations coming through as Global Esports make their way across mid through vents. So flashed up, redrawing that goes. Looking to try to steady it, but it's going to be Rimuru coming away with the first kill. Damage on the Hobby as well there at Heaven, as the plant will come in for Team Secret.
Spike planted.
Just fast enough. Now they have to deal with the flood.
Grenade.
Back up towards full. Angel not going to be finding much of anything there, but Berserk does get taken down. Autumn able to find him just in front of main. Jump in the corner. And no one's looking into elbows, and Jesse Bash just collects 3. Suddenly now, Uttar, who's maybe going to be caught in timing, will be able to hold his own as Kelly S does fall. Gets himself into a 1v2, still a bit of time to try to work with, but he's not going to be ready for Sylvan. Tucked away at the back of sight. Team Secret will get themselves the pistol win.
It looked a little bit dicey there. You know, Global Esports threw all the util they could to try to delay that to get the rotations in time. Yeah, but Crystal loses a critical 1v1 there against the Neon. And yeah, they were like, Javi's trying to bait there, and they look the other way. Javi does a little spin jump, and he's like, guys, I'm going to tee you up for this elbow angle. And they don't check it.
Let's go! Let's go!
So that's the round. Jesse Vash
Blinded.
collects.
Kills.
Yeah.
Crystal feeling safe enough to go for this grab, so does manage to get the orb back and away. Trying to get that Nightfall online. And it's once again, I mean, Secret playing very cautiously. I mean, they're worried about some shenanigans in the eco, which is understandable.
Sure.
But unable to find a punish, so orb just gets picked up and able to back away over towards Elbow. In the meantime, Patman, he is working his way very quickly through sewers, but critically, that tripwire is set up to stave him off. So the early alert system is in place for Team Secret. But if Berserk ends up dying on the entry, that could be devastating potentially.
Oh, Javi's in a tricky position.
Tucked away and will be overwhelmed. Uttar able to find one as Kelly S will fall, but the Crystal looking the wrong way, ends up getting caught. Spam through, Uttar going to be tagged up. And that approach from Patman is very much contained as Berserk is alive and well.
Yeah, at this point, probably would look for either exits or die to the spike as Global Esports.
Well, both of his teammates so very low as that Guardian continues to ring out. The trip has been broken. So, yep, there you go. Kill to be found. Uttar and Autumn. Let's see if he can get any exits. Holding here, the Bucky could absolutely get some damage in, but oh, ends up going wide. And Remover, very clean on the slide, finds himself a 3K in the round. Team Secret, 2 in a row to start off the half.
Yeah, I don't mind at all what Global Esports does here. I think they read the map pretty well. Oh, a great check from Rimuru. That is heads-up stuff to realize that position hadn't been accounted for based on the util you had already sent through. Nice slide in.
Let's go! Nice one.
And now you're only 4 down as Team Secret. Who knows? Maybe they take a bonus here, and all of a sudden we've got a map.
The floodgates will have been opened. Flash out, Rimuru on the side, and is able to find Uttar. Doing him with that Bulldog, gets his and gets the hell out. Not looking to overgress, not looking to overstay. Knows that they've gotten themselves a key advantage. Now we'll explore other parts of the map. Hobby, however, is going to be chasing forward, but you can see Sylvan holding back, wary of this. Oh, there's the shoulder check, and now has the confirmation.
And he doesn't want to try to challenge that again. I don't blame Sylvan. Gun disadvantage, so don't give him anything for free here. You guys have got a golden opportunity getting that early first blood for free. A little bit cautious about it, Jesse. Try to tee him up, confirms the presence. It's just one player. I think Hobby there trying to look bigger than he is, but now that you're already into ropes, this opens up a ton of pivots for Team Secret, depending on how they get the read. They haven't put any presence, though, over at A, so you would think it'd allow GE here to lean a little bit stronger towards B, but they're going to hedge their bets. They're going to go for a 2-2. I think this could be pretty challenging for Global Esports, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's very big pressure on Patman and Hobby on this piece out of the map, and they have been the ones near the bottom of the board for Global Esports. Here comes that entry, and even just this slight little move from the Neon, more than enough to break that crosshair on the reface. Javi ends up losing his life. And with time to spare, the plant will come through, and
10
Global
seconds
Esports,
left.
Crystal and Autumn, have to just sit back and go for the save. Team Secret will convert the bonus. 3 rounds now in a row in this half. Just closing the gap very steadily, round over round.
I mean, I'm just tickled with what I'm seeing today in terms of both teams winning their bonuses on the attack side and split with single duelist comps.
There.
It's you could maybe argue that because you have the veto in there for GE, it's maybe a little bit, you know, kind of a half duelist. You could potentially argue, but I don't. I think veto plays a little bit more defender sided. But anyway, I mean, what a crazy start. Anything is possible.
It's starting to certainly feel that way.
They're hunting.
Looking to try to see if they can find anything, but could be going for the check up into heaven. So these 2 players from Global Esports will be able to retain their weapons, but you have to be, yep, there's the timer stop. As I was going to say, you have to be thinking that this is going to be a timeout call for Frost.
Go, go, go.
Might have been able to shrug off the earlier round losses from that first half, and now leaving the pistol
Okay, come.
and the eco to start off this one, but the bonus conversion is not something that he wants to see at all.
No doubt. And he doesn't look too stressed just yet. Wants to get in there and talk a little bit about what's going on. And I think just, again, that early first kill just puts a lot of pressure on Global Esports to not be able to play the game they want to in terms of maintaining map control, showing their presence, being able to play for those trades a little bit more comfortably. Maybe talking a little bit about how to avoid some of those situations again. Fans of just about every player out there, even a lot of Team Secret fans heading in here today. GE, so our bear is dancing.
Hyped up.
He's hyped up, man. I'm hyped to have him here.
See which team is going to be more hyped up after this round. Bit of a half buy here for Global Esports. 2 sheriffs, half armors in the mix. Glass cannon judge for Javi as he looks to try to hold the exit of garage. That's just checking that there's no quick scaling. Well, a bit of a walk down into mid from Patman, but not going to be able to linger on that angle.
Yeah, just a very anti-neon setup. Javi wants to make sure that he's not going to lose this garage position to just one player. They did in the previous round. Granted, it wasn't him that lost it, but still, big picture going to be there. For Team Secret, their ideas largely focused around this mid area. Going to wait out the boom bot. Clear it, though, with a shot. So give up a little bit of info. That's going to keep both players dialed in towards this angle now. And Sheriff, so Pat just looking for the one and done. Not going to find much. It's going to be a late pivot over towards A, but without any mid control, I would think the rotations could come through pretty quick.
This is where your rifles are at. Crystal and Autumn both. Phantom and Vandal. And it's going to be Crystal to draw that first blood. Swing on the corner. Autumn now. But has that cross cut, so takes his way out with a quick TP back over towards screens.
30 seconds left.
Crystal with that haunt at the ready. Interceptor going to be cleared out. The haunt reveal on the 2. Kelly S was going to be pushing forward, finding the 1, but Autumn quickly trades it back out. Patman arriving on the rafters, but again, just that sheriff in hand. One of the rifles now lost. Autumn, though, okay. Sylvan pushing forward into the smoke. Should have had him dead to rights. Is unable to come away with that kill. Now the scaling forward starting to begin here as Global Esports will be able to retake. Patman and Javi with 1 apiece to close it out at the end. Global Esports slowing down this onward march from Team Secret as they get up to double digits.
Yeah, I think this is just a little bit too readable from Team Secret coming out of the timeout. The ideas at the beginning of the round don't change too much. They try to establish a little bit of garage control.
Spike planted.
And it's just kind of a slow pivot into, like you mentioned, 2 rifles
One
that
enemy
Global
remaining.
Esports still had.
Inside, please. 1 smoke at least.
I
anything.
don't.
Just looking for a little help there, it's Crystal.
Some obfuscation, please.
Help. but it
shouldn't need it on that side of the map, given what we're seeing, at least not yet.
There.
I think I need to see a little bit more aggression. Okay, it's the same clear.
Poison's off.
I'd like to see this continue. See if you can bully your way through in towards mid.
Shell out, trying to stop this scale forward. On left of them to play off the back of that Trailblazer, and for now, Team Secret do end up getting halted. Prowler to check, does quickly get cleared out. Berserk's trying to be the entry, trying to find his way. Walks forward into A, but Autumn tucked on that right side of ramp. Catches him by surprise, has the shutdown.
Now you gotta pinch B. You just don't have a
Evolution
choice. Yeah.
Yutan making sure that his setup
There.
is good. One of these spotted too early. The swing going to be coming through. He's able to find one. Ramiro basically mid-air, sliding off the top there of heaven. He's able to find the one, but Javi down. Back pillar comes away with two. Sylvan now the last one standing. The swing out, and Javi will have the 3K as Global Esports take it up to 11.
My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, now they've got a pretty good read. And again, just no early presence shown at A main. Makes things a little bit easier, and Berserk doesn't even check. Just drifts.
I want to see that Ramiro's
I know,
POV.
I know, please. It's not gonna happen.
Nice, Javi.
He was definitely mid-air, it felt like, when that connected.
Might have hit the shot right as he was getting off the ground.
Could be.
Either way, just an overdrive in the back pocket at the moment. This Team Secret practically try to stave Global Esports off from hitting map point. Utah at the same time, however, one away from a showstopper, but it's going to be Patman the first to fall in mid. Taking him down at mail, but they're not rechecking, but it doesn't matter because they have the double face here in mid. So Utah going to get punished for that aggression. Crystal, however, at the vents, able to find one, but Kelly, yes, dropping down, chasing in behind his Neon, is able to find that. They maintain the player advantage, 4-2. So looking to try to bring that spike potentially over to the A side of the map. Autumn has been noted. Again, just cross-cutting his way back over towards screens. At the same time, though, Javi on this re-wrap, but Sylvan, it looked like for a second he had realized it and read it, but turns back towards Mail, ends up getting punished. Javi's gonna have to fight his way back in now through Garage. Very safe plant. Jesse Bash sending out that flash, confirms the presence. Just rides that wall.
Oh,
Tucked in back
the
pillar.
timing here.
The Mike's getting ready to come through. The spot on the one. Smoke
Blinding.
considered, but Paranoia will be sent. Berserk's now getting that spot confirmation. Has seen him, knows where he's at, and they are not reading this cipher at all. Javi to fall, Autumn. Transferred back, now gets himself into a 1v1. Time still plenty on his side, but Kelly S comes away with a massive 3K. Keep Team Secret afloat.
Yeah, this is more of what I wanted to see in the previous round, is this mid-contact fights, getting in there, clearing out some space, the way they're covering for each other, use that man advantage. Obviously, again, it helps that your Neon is finding that first kill for you. Seems to be another big win condition for what we're seeing for this Team Secret squad on this attacker side, but adjustments being made, maybe not enough overall to win the map, but I think to at least give you some confidence that Team Secret might make this a pretty contested affair throughout the series.
I mean, they win one more, they're widely going to break the economy. It's just Patman who really has any kind of funds left.
A change-up interceptor going to be tucked into the corner. TP's available back behind the B site, kind of like a pseudo omen setup for Autumn there. At the front of B, Garage. Check with the dog. You know, last time there was some force behind that, but now I think Team Secret just looking to see if there was going to be any kind of response from Global Esports compared to what we'd seen in the previous round. You know, showing the same maneuver and trying to get some kind of reaction, but all they really get is a prowler out of it. So they don't have a ton of info here. If they go for this, it's just going to have to be a really clean execute. Maybe get into that post plant with the pit. Could be a good round.
Sliding closer to the wall. The overdrive now going to be popped. Strafe in. Ramiro completely distracted by the interceptor. Autumn takes his head off, and that's the back away now. Team Secret going to be rerouted. Berserk's trying to open things up. Scouts forward into mid. Sees that everything's going to be clear. And for now, it's Yutan alone on the A side of the map. Team Secret putting themselves in the right position, but here comes the TP.
Oh, he's
over
got
to
a
elbow.
showstopper.
Yep, Javi now arriving, opening up with some shots. Some damage going to be dealt. For the flash, the showstopper now in play. Jesse Bash strafing for the rocket. A direct hit as Uttar tries to maintain control of the site. Berserk is able to displace him. Kelly S now with a kill into Patman. Spike being brought around, but the pit immediately fallen, and Crystal mows down 3. A frantic scuffle that Global Esports win out in the end, and they get themselves now up to map point.
And this is the other part of this big picture for Global Esports that has made them so good here from our eyes in stage 1 is also their ult usage. The way they're so patient with it. Javi here knows that he has to bail out Yudotan even though he has the showstopper. Great awareness from Crystal, knowing that they're going to be weakened and that he has an opportunity to get in there while the pit's blooming to do damage. Very heads-up play from Crystal. And now it's map point for Global Esports. Team Secret gonna try to clear space through mid. There is the trip from the Vito situated inside of that poison cloud, but it's cleared out. Esports just gonna, oh boy.
There's the spot out the slide down, looking for that damage, but Murr himself just getting held up, bogged by that paranoia. Crystal's able to collect the kill. Blast pack sent out. Berserk's gonna fall as Autumn collects the elimination. Kelly S now trying to fight his way back into this one. Spike is ready to be planted, and Sylvan comes away with the fourth! Took the time to clear the boom bot and still got the kill. Now Jesse Bash looking for the catch here on the Batman, and suddenly it's 15 HP apiece. Weapons recovered, and Sylvan gets the Predator ace. What a round from him!
Masters Bangkok called it, wants Sylvan back.
It's on split as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Unbelievable. Oh, Sylvan.
Show me this again. Woo! Gets the third. Oh yeah, Boombot, no problem. 15
I got
HP,
this.
still pivots back to find the final. Unreal from Sylvan. Oh, that is something to feel good about. 4 rounds in a row now. Is the economy broken for Global Esports? Just a Guardian, a Bucky purchased in behind this Sheriff. They're trying to go for a walkabout in mid.
Oh, Kelly. Oh, but Yudotan tucks into the corner.
And it's tucking in at Ramen. Does this go red at all?
Just a classic.
The other players working their way down towards sewers. Meanwhile, Berserks.
It's a weird toxic screen, so.
Man, it's a weird fight to be in. It's an outlaw versus a Bucky. Berserks could just be absolutely screwed, and he is. So Autumn able to find that one, swaps the weapons over, and it's going to be good for at least 2 players. Jesse Bash and Sylvan both have that half armor. Same time, though, the B site is opened up. Smoke to be cycled in, and Yudotan once again scaling forward. Might be able to get them off guard quickly here. Crystal does manage to find Jesse Bash. That interrupts the plant. Meanwhile, the turn back. Yudotan now swinging the corner, but Kelly S. wise to it. Guns down 3. Cognitive Divide going to be called in, and Autumn. Oh, he's got his work cut out for him, and now he's been spotted. Kelly S. is going to go swinging to his demise. Still going to be found. A weapon now to be collected. And what a clutch this would be. Both players back of sight. Autumn sussing it out, but it's a high-low setup. He's going to have to try to break. Spots on the first one. Sylvan going to be taken low, but takes the fight. And he shall win it. Team Secret. Another 2 rounds in a row. Now just 3 away from sending this into overtime.
Okay. This is a really interesting little setup that I think Team Secret's gonna look at in the VODs and be like, oh, we should have read that off that toxic screen, but
Nice one.
Kelly S still very smart, very aware, making sure to check that flank. Couple big ults here for Global Esports. Looks like Pat's just gonna rip the pit off the start, off the barrier drop, I would think. He's holding it.
Yeah, hasn't sent it. Scale forward, looking for that space here onto the B side. Ramiro gonna be sliding forward, but Javi has that judge once again in hand. This time comes away with the elimination. Trailblazer looking for the spot, should get it. And immediately Team Secret have to reroute. Full sprint over to the A side of the map. Autumn, lone defender at the moment, but can quickly be joined.
They have no mid control, so they have to slow this up. They have to cut their sound because they have no idea how deep somebody might have pushed.
Boombot checking out. Actually bouncing towards Ramen.
Toxin screen down.
Fell past the wall.
Nobody shot the Boombot, so that's got to be cleared here. going to be ready for this angle. Wouldn't be the first time. Obviously, we've seen it this half.
It's a bit of an all-in. Can tuck around the corner, then get that crosscut out towards screens, but there you go. Finds his first Berserk's gone, and actually puts himself top map. Spam into the smoke. Sylvan worked low, worked down. Javi will be able to find the kill. Kelly, yes. To the bottom, but now that Paranoia at the ready. A 2v4 to try to keep the map going. Kelly S and Jesse Vash. Trying to work wonders, but Paranoia will connect. Kelly just has to back away. Under the play that pressure that he really wants to apply, and he just can't quite line it up on the Udaton. Patman will find the final, 13-9. Honestly, damn solid effort here from Team Secret. After what it was looking like a complete wash of a first half, they turned this into a very real map.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of credit got to go to both teams, but Global Esports in particular for their game plan on the attacker side. The way they were maneuvering the map, the way that they were taking advantage of whatever Team Secret gave them, sowing some really nice fakes along the way. That was the big difference maker here on Split. Their ability to manipulate and use the information against Team Secret, time and time again, had them making the wrong reads.
Well, that is Global Esports map going their way, but Lotus is going to be coming up next. That's Secret's pick, and in the past, it is a map that they've been able to put up some solid performances on. My big question is, what's Jesse Dash going to be playing? Is he going to be rocking the Sova again?
I'm fine with that.
I think it's probably going to be the Fade.
Yeah, probably.
But who knows? So we'll see what that map is going to have in store for us. But Global Esports maybe getting shaken up a hell of a lot more than they could have anticipated coming into today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a couple rounds that they're probably kicking themselves that they felt like they should have won. They should have been closed out a little bit sooner. You know, maybe got a little bit overconfident, a little overheated towards some of those rounds on the attacker side. But honestly, I think just some little things to clean up, a little bit of polish to put here on some of this, and Global Esports will be just fine. And, you know, it'll give something Frost to do next week, right?
That it will, but still work to be done if they want this to be a fast 2-0 series. Team Secret, though, if you look at the rebound, I mean, some very nice plays scattered throughout here for Team Secret. The ace from Sylvan in particular, absolutely gorgeous. These players showing that they absolutely can frag, they can fight back. Want to see more of that as we get ready to go to Lotus, but for now, we'll go ahead and send it down.
GE takes Split, and that map, we were sure that Global Esports was just gonna take this. It looked as though in the beginning that they had it in the bag. They had a massive lead as well. Then there was a little bit of that comeback from Team Secret. Then suddenly they were getting multi-frags, and you had that ace from Sylvan as well. They were getting a little bit of momentum on their side too. Yeah. But Global Esports, they managed to wrap it up, but that was a little bit more of a fight from Team Secret.
Yeah, it was a little bit, you know, I think too close for comfort for this Global Esports team.
Was.
That first half was dominant. I think you have to say that, of course, Team Secret, though, they do start fighting back when they get onto that attacker side. Gotta say, I like their attacker side a lot more than their defense. I think they played it in a slightly different way that was catching GE off guard, but ultimately, it's that experience, it's that poise from GE do close out their map pick on Split.
I think they're lucky that they had such a strong attacking side, GE. I mean, they were playing very contact heavy. They were catching Team Secret out of position. I don't think Team Secret was very well playing against that particular style well at all. They didn't get enough out of their defense given what their comp was looking like. You're playing Viper, Astra, Cypher. You're expecting to have a good defensive side. You even have something like a Sky Neon where you can run certain traps. You can flash through the Viper wall. I wanted the Neon and the Sky to play better off of each other on the defense. I think that Team Secret, credit to GE for their approach on the attacking side. Very contact heavy, walking around the map, really waiting for aggression, but I think there was a couple of key examples of Team Secret just being completely out of position and giving GE a lot easier of a time on the attacking side, and I don't think they adapted to their pacing at all. I wanted to see Team Secret play some setups deep into the site, you know, play behind Cypher trips or have like a, you know, a site specific setup where they're popping cages, flashing out of them or playing with the Astra smokes, things like that, but you just didn't see anything like that. Instead, they were just peeking out in the mid-round, wasting their Sky utility and not really taking any territory.
Yeah, there's still a lot to work on the side of Team Secret, and you could kind of feel as well that they were very passive in the beginning. They were really not, they were not themselves. And there was more of that Team Secret towards the end. But as you guys mentioned, you know, that defensive side, especially on the A side, that was a pretty questionable.
I think Global Esports' approach here was really nice. They're just kind of denying info and walking up towards A.
Yeah.
Team Secret, very uncomfortable with that. If you're playing a comp like this that heavy holds onto these sites, you want them to be loud. You want them to run at you a little bit so they get caught up in your traps. But Global did a great job of not doing that and just... I just felt like they were cooking Team Secret. I felt like Team Secret never found a way to get stabilized, and Global Esports ran away with it in that first half. And it's a good job that they did, because things started to slow down in that second half.
I mean, every single one of those rounds, you see GE just walking out and shooting people that are standing in the open and not actually really playing off their teammates at all. You saw one round, really, where they flashed through the Viper wall on ramp side, but look at the clock. It's a minute 15 seconds. GE didn't do anything until like 40 seconds on the clock. They would work B main control, they would deny information inside a middle, and then they would con back to A with like 45 seconds on the clock, something like that. When the pacing is the same every round, you have to change how you play. You can't just keep running the same setup and getting picked in the mid-round. It's not good enough.
I feel like part of it is a symptom of a little bit of nervousness in that slow start, because they're never able to move forward down the map, establish those deep positions, really gather that info, and GE took advantage of it. But I will say, as things moved across to that second half, we started to see Team Secret in the attack. I felt like it got a little bit better, right? There was more synergy there for sure.
Well, it's just frustrating to watch, because you look at how the Sky and the Neon played together on the attacking side, and that's what you wanted on defense. You wanted to see a guiding light with a Neon pushing in and getting some information, or maybe a Sky Dog setting up the Neon on the operator on an info line or something like that, and then you play the strong setup on the other side of the map. What you want to see is you want to see an active side of the map for Team Secret, or a trap somewhere, plus a big setup with the Astra utility and the Cypher and the Viper wall, things like that. And we just didn't see that at all.
And I feel like it was a real strong point of their attacker side, is when they're able to flash in Remura like this, and he's able to take those first fights, we do see him win them a lot of times. So I do think when he was able to find that pick with the help of Jesse Vash's util, those were the rounds that they were able to look a lot more comfortable in. So I do think if they can keep working on that synergy, get a little bit of stronger halves going, a bit stronger starts with these maps, I do think this is a roster that has potential, but that's why it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because they're just not winning.
You just wanted to see them simplify it. Like, you just wanted to see Skydog send the Neon in, and then you've got Kellyas and Sylvan in the mid-round, like, to multi-frag. That's all you really needed to do as Team Secret. I just felt like it was a lot of overcook, or not necessarily kind of making plays together.
Yeah, maybe they were also overthinking this match. Maybe they're also overreading Javi, because you know, there is some history there. We were talking to Frost earlier about how, you know, Javi, his roots really go deep, and Frost can even sense how much his past has influenced him. So it might be that they're maybe digging too deep, because I could also sense that Javi was maybe not quite himself as well in this match. So I feel like there's a little bit of mind game somewhere in there.
Yeah, Javi definitely took a moment to heat up. He started to come alive a little bit more in the end of that game, so I think you got to watch out for him in map 2. Now, I will say that was Global Esports' pick of Split. It's a map that they've been good on all year. I'm not surprised to see them win that, but we will be moving forward now into Team Secret's pick of Lotus. I think this is where the veto starts to get a little bit more spicy. They can start to catch this Global Esports team off guard.
Yeah, we haven't seen either one of these teams playing too much Lotus recently. It's just come back into the map pool, so you have some ability to show some creativity. I want to see it continually be simplified for Remuru. I think you're going to need to see a better performance for Berserks. He had a pretty shocking map 1, but this is a map that he's actually had some very big games on the Sentinel on in the past. You think back to Ascension Jakarta and some of these games on Boom Esports. This is a very comfortable map for Berserks that he usually goes big on. So I'm hoping he's going to start to warm up for Team Secret, and I'm eager to see what they're going to put together this time on the defense, because there's no excuse. You know, you have a split picked into you, you opt to start out on the defense, and you don't really have a good game plan. Maybe you haven't fleshed out that map enough. This time you opted to start out Lotus on the defense, because G has picked the attacking side. We need to see a much better defensive game plan for Team Secret, because if they get rolled by contact plays yet again, it's just not going to be good enough.
Yeah, you have to show that you picked this map for an exact reason, that there is a game plan on this at the end of it all. Because, again, Team Secret, they need this win so bad, because there are a lot of fans that are waiting for this for so long, and it looks as though Global Esports, they are you know, they're map up in this. And going into Lotus with all the unique comps that Frost has as well and challenging these players, I feel like these players, they do want to level up in that way. And Team Secret, they're still finding their footing, especially with a player like Rimuru, who is so new to Pacific. This is only his second match here.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be so annoyed about Team Secret if it wasn't so close, right? They've shown a lot of promise and potential, but it's can they put it together now in Lotus on their map pick, equalize this series?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think for Rimuru, it was pretty much the same story. Like, there was flashes and moments where he was actually able to put together some good frags when he was set up well. You need to see him set up well yet again here on Lotus. We'll have a little bit of a look at what Team Secret has cooked in particular up against Global. They have picked Lotus. You know, you've had to see a little bit of a shuffle in terms of some of the agents given the meta change. Love to see Rimuru on the Neon. Berserks will be on Vice, and the rest of the comp very standardized. I mean, this is just a change of what Duelist and what Sentinel you're running, but we've seen this kind of formula many times, and it does look similar to what Team Secret used to run on Lotus.
Yeah, no massive risks there from Team Secret. Global Esports taking things in a different direction. Double smokes with Astra Omen, and they're bringing back Crystal on this deadlock. He had a good performance on Bind last week on this role, so look for him to continually try and pop Rimuru. It's Rimuru who has to be the one running through those traps. They're trying to make it rough for the rookie.
Yeah, definitely so. You know, Kelly S had mentioned that he has his eyes on Crystal. I think now everybody is as well because, you know, Global Esports being one of the only teams to actually work out the deadlock. Hey, let's see what they have planned as we step into Lotus. We're going to toss it back to our casters, Paperthin and Achilles.
Thank you very much. Here we go. Map number 2, Lotus, to determine whether or not Global will be able to find themselves another 2-0 victory. Team Secret have something up their sleeve, a bit more fight left in them. We're seeing it there in that second half of Split. I want to see more of that as we go into map 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the desk is kind of reiterating things that I was seeing, that I was thinking about, that the control and the contact fights and all that stuff need to be a lot cleaner here on Lotus on this defender side to give Team Secret the right footing, the right start into that second half where they looked a lot more comfortable on their attacker side. You know, and it's going to be tough when you switch over because of the deadlock, things like that, but that's another problem for another half. As Team Secret going to have that Vice in there, something that could kind of slow things up, but the util clear on the other side of the map to give a little bit of a bailout for Kelly S potentially. It ends up being in that direction, but no spike pickup. Again, contact fights early. That's what you're looking for.
Curious how this ends up going here for Global Esports. Going with the Lotus without the Viper. Very odd choice. Very frost-pilled. See how they run this.
That's what he was running in kickoff last year at the very beginning. Had that deadlock in the mix on Lotus, and it didn't go the best. Let's see, maybe against the Neon could be an answer that a lot of people have theorized. Very powerful. And we know he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve, a lot of tactics and strategies. I'm talking about Talon, by the way, last year when Frost was coaching. Well, and this is kind of a re-exploration towards A, so I think overall here, a pretty good read on this pistol for Team Secret and how they want to approach this part of the map, because you've got those thorns to slow things down.
No orb collection for now for Uttar. Could just be the pivot back into B. They'd still have Crystal position in front. So yeah, will just be the break of the door. Jesse Bash tucking in the side of uppers. The Nebula will bloom and the plant can come through.
30 seconds left.
Now Secret going to be scrambling to try to get into position. Get this retake going.
Got a haunt. Got the ability to kind of come from a bunch of different angles.
Not going to be seeing anything here, at least onto Uttar, as there's the grab. The paint shell not quite connected with it, so damage on a Berserk's not going to be found, and Jesse Bash actually out of range as well. Just onto the chase forward, dropping back, Haunt reveal, Paranoid connecting, Berserk's able to find the first kill, as Javi's going to be taking down Uttar, dead as well. Patman only going to be good for the one, as Autumn is trying to make a miracle happen, but he cannot. 2 players surviving. That's going to be Team Secret taking the lead not only in this map, but in the pistols across the set.
Yeah, really like the macro here from Team Secret and how they're thinking about this round. You know, we've got all of our bases covered. Make it a fight at B main. Don't give that up easily. Don't give up that space for free that the plant comes through that direction. If they want to pivot through door, that's fine. Jesse's going to wait up there, rally the troops. They're just going to flood together. Come from an extra angle with Sylvan. right here. Nicely done.
One enemy
Good
remaining.
timing, good thought, good strategy. I like the way they're controlling the map. I think that was, could be a good portent of things to come. So we'll see. Now looking for that grab this time.
That avoided. Has pushed the Outlaw further back onto the site.
They're going to have to be fast to get over here. Just that Outlaw there. That's a pretty punishable position, potentially.
Kelly S nearby enough with the Bulldog.
It is dead.
Oh, Autumn on a timing. Able to push forward. Finds Berserks and even gets a ton of damage on the Kelly S. Doesn't have that regen armor, but now they're going to be held at bay.
Spike planted.
That barrier mesh locking off his waterfall position, having to be cleared out.
It's going to be screaming. Why weren't you? Who was watching the cross?
In that moment, nobody. Bobby down low. The four-player post plant. Pretty decent here for Global Esports to slide onto the corner. Muru is only going to be good for the one. Uttar able to sit him down. Swing in the corner. That ghost in hand. Jesse Bash will end up falling. Sylvan now cut out for him a bit alongside Kelly S, who does manage to collect one.
Last player
Oh!
standing.
The rush forward. Crystal finding the shot. Lobbing in that grab net. Has the lock in and has the kill. So close on that defuse, but just cannot make it happen. It's a Red Bull clutch to tie it up 1-1.
The battlefield changes.
I gotta see this from the mini-map again, because somehow, some way, Berserks gets killed. Out of TP pass. The smoke's there, the extra layer with the Astra. Something you gotta, kind of consider that normally you don't have to.
In the moment, is he just not registering that TP sound? You have to wonder.
Yeah.
Love to have the bar here because it feels like he was so very close, just a fraction away from being able to get that diffuse through. And Crystal Johnny on the spot gets there.
Should have gone for the
Right where he
Forsaken,
needed to.
just started spinning.
Get that high sense. Well, now, kick back onto an eco of their own. Team Secret. Can they do the Pacific Special? Just start trading these round wins. Autumn wants to say no, but Jesse Bash says yes. 1-for-1 exchange. As weapons will just be juggled away. One chucked off the side of the map. Not looking to give any advantages over to Team Secret.
You should have a pretty good idea that C was relatively open, but Team Secret was quick to rotate over the early nightfall. Just to clear, just to make sure, but Jesse dodges it. Set up for the flood. Sonic sensor right at the waterfall door.
Barrier mesh is there, though. Two players on that exit, and I mean, Autumn's just going to be catching one. Clear through the smoke. Just find that kill. Patman now looking for the second, but Jesse Bash with the Sheriff doing well to get some more damage in, try to slow down big economics, snowball, but Kelly S, last one standing. Didn't get anything else. Seems unlikely given that he is tagged to 77. It'll just be the drift away. I thought maybe Uttar would go on the hunt, try to get another charge towards that showstopper, but it seems like it's going to be Autumn pushing forward, checking out around towards the defender's spawn, but won't linger. He'll just back away, and that opens up for Kelly S to go down to the spike, but Global Esports now going to be gaining the lead 2-1.
Okay. I think something already that I hope that Team Secret is talking about is being a little bit more thoughtful on these C defenses, creating a little bit more pressure at mound. I get this is an eco, so it's just, you're trying to go for that big rubble fight, see if you can get that to go. But the deadlock utility is going to be a real nightmare if Global gets in a post plant there on C. So something you got to be considering is just don't let that Sentinel kind of win rounds for you, or against you in this case, but sort of like you see on Bind, where you get into that post plant, it's so infuriating to play against a deadlock. Jesse can open up the door here, win the rubble fight, immediately start pivoting over. Now, Kelly has
a contact for Sylvan, so
yeah,
free to just rotate.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got to be careful with the fight. Hasn't been much of a response, so Global just messing around.
Oh, hello.
Oh no.
Sure about that one. Wasn't ready for that orb to be dropped at all. Zero consideration. Crystal widely held at bay. The walls there as well as the thorns. He goes jumping across that one. Just about be dead, but we'll still be able to bait it out. Well, Muru flushed out. A back rubble. Ends up getting caught. Patman with a nice headshot and Sylvan abandoning ship. Leaving his Neon to the wayside now. That is, once again, just Global able to open up a bit more map
left.
control. Granted, time is starting to dwindle. 25 seconds remaining. Tap at the door. Autumn just cutting across, but Jesse Bash is waiting around the corner. He's about to get the bad news, and there you have it. The backstab ends up coming through. Pressure applied to the players here on the C site. Kelly S, however, able to find the one, and now 14 seconds remaining. If he can come away with another kill, it could just be the round done and dusted in the hands of Team Secret. Nightfall to crash across, connecting, I believe, onto both, and yes, it has connected. Patman decayed down, sliding further forward. Break any potential lines of sight. Seeing Hobby get set up. Trying to hold the line. And 2v3, but Patman cannot get the reset, nor can Hobby. Sylvan comes away with a 2, and Team Secret will tie it up 2-2.
Yeah, in general, I think Team Secret is already starting to fix some of the things that went wrong. You're getting a little bit of help over. Kelly S was there to bail out Berserks, who's having a bit of a rough go of it on the C site, but that's okay, because you can maneuver some pieces around. They take that A control early. They're able to use that to establish their presence on the map. Jesse doesn't give anything up over on the B. You know, and again, Global Esports is trying to spread the map, sell a little bit of a fake like they would on Split. Nobody really bites this time for Team Secret.
Let's go!
So some good adjustments made in an early timeout. Frost is already not liking what he's seeing.
Wanting to shape things up a little bit here.
I just got lost in the intensity of his eyes there for a second.
He gets going. He is one of those guys who yaps away with passion.
After we recorded the timeout content where I was the judge and I shared a taxi back because the GE office isn't too far from where I live in Seoul. Yeah.
How many words did you get to speak?
Not a ton. To be fair, it's quite interesting because he has so many thoughts about so many things that I'm like, I didn't thought about it that way. Like, he does make me think because he thinks in different ways than I do, which I really appreciate.
Right.
But at the same time, man's a yapper.
Internet close, Sava?
Yeah, I do.
Have a listen in. Global can get done. Better be getting the lead.
Recon from B.
I'm not gonna recon.
Follow up.
Let's go. Is the blue door open? I think it's just Viper side. Let's open door and ready Prowler. Go. Ready?
Thinking it's just going to be that Viper here, Kelly S on the A site. It is in fact Berserks, but you get the correct read that it's just the one player anchoring for now. But with all this pressure being applied, this has allowed for 3 players to slot their way out of B main. Look for this wraparound on a fast flank.
Walls here though.
Boombot going through 3-2-1, push over the wall. We'll leave a couple players on the opposite side, but that does include the spike. We'll just have to wait that one out. Meanwhile, the players getting closer and closer as Muru sliding on the corner, and Hobby not registering this fast enough. Jesse Bash able to take him down, and Autumn whippy on the shots. Sends it whizzing right past Muru's head, but he comes away with the kill, and now it's a 3v5 post plan for Global Esports as Team Secret seems slated to gain the lead. They both send out. Patman getting his attention split, and he cannot narrow it down. Gives Todd and Crystal now to try to hold the line here somehow, but they will quickly get overwhelmed, and Team Secret, a sacrificial Neon, get themselves into the lead once again.
Yeah, this time, this map, Team Secret is making really good reads, anticipating that there was going to be a heavier fight for rubble control, that was going to be the adjustment that Global Esports talked about during this timeout, and they're 100% right. So they've got the extra layer of Vice utility here, shifted it onto the other side of the map, gives them that little bit of extra ability to kind of figure things out. I'm curious what exactly happened, like you were talking about, Global Esports gets caught flat-footed because they put a sonic sensor right at the rocks outside of A main, and it got cleared by Team Secret, so I don't know what was going on. maybe just figured it was one and they had enough time to clear sight first.
Where are you?
But Team Secret had 3 there.
Bring them down.
I'm not one to often make pleas, but Javi, 0-5-0. Happy with my build diff, please. I need you to do something, but it's going to be Autumn, the first to fall in the round. As once again, wall intercepting, thorns are popped. As Paint Shell rebounding off the box, doesn't quite make it over to water. They will be able to clear this out and see that the rest of the C site is open for the taking. Utah in this position will be very vulnerable with the bucket, but never mind. Berserks his attention tied elsewhere as Javi will be able to swoop through and finds 2. That's what I'm talking about. Sylvan finding the shutdown, however, on a Patman. So I'm just having to back away. The Paranoia going to go crashing across, but now Annihilation going to be popped. Crystal is ready and waiting, trying to shotgun blast, and will be able to get the grab here onto Sylvan. Jesse Vash wanting to try to break out his teammate, but try to scale forward and clear it out. Just won't be able to do it in time. Crystal, very nice shot. As Global Esports will tie it up 3-3.
Yeah, you could see how dangerous this composition is on those C post plants.
Kill them fast.
So much ability to delay, and you get into this ult, and Sylvan just has to challenge it. He knows that they don't have the time to wait this out. Huge. So much damage with that second shot. Tease Javi up. Oh, the follow through on that transfer.
Yes.
Oh my word.
That's
Is that a collab actually through the Annihilation? I thought it was through the corner, but I'm pretty sure he actually just shot
him through the cocoon.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Well, Pitt, as well as the Steel Garden online, slide forward, and Boomerung going to be losing his head. Very clean there from Utah. As a swing back rubble, Autumn able to find Sylvan, quickly makes his exit with the TP. Global Esports wiping their head, saying, well, our job on that A side of the map is done. Let's go back to C.
Yeah, that is probably exactly what Global Esports was looking for out of that timeout, so that's a really nice adjustment. Just being that much more patient, taking that extra little pause there, anticipating the Neon was going to be dashing in. And Yudotan so sharp with the shots.
I think you have to just save.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to. So,
Sound sensor
some
out.
time to relax and try to
Listening.
talk about what you're going to do here as Team Secret to regain control over this one. Still playing a very tight-knit game, but you don't want Global Esports to start running away with this.
For sure. You could throw one player out here as Global Esports to go hunting. You have the money.
I mean, Utah 2 charges away. I think he would be the one.
Exactly what I was just thinking. Doesn't. Let's see if they do. I mean, I don't know if there's enough time now that they could get there anyway, but.
Well, they clear out the C lobby, so we'll just be a full death ball push back over towards our own spawn, but I don't think they're really going to end up intercepting anyone here, so nothing more to be found for Global Esports in the round aside from the round itself. So 4-3, they will regain the lead. Can they break away, or will this back and forth continue? Still 3 weapons to try to utilize, but 2 dead players for Team Secret. That's just going to be a bit wonky.
Curious if Robotics was thinking about a timeout at all yet. Looks like the clock is going to tick. So should just be going through. A wry smile on Sylvan's face. Probably still feeling pretty jazzed after that ace. Still though, having a solid map despite getting a little bullied a little bit by his opponent.
Flush them out.
His counterpart in Autumn. That one hit a nice paranoia to take him down. Combo, grab net, nade. Looking to see if they could catch the Neon this time around. Patience, Team Secret's answer to what they saw in the previous one. GE just going to slowly scale forward, but there's a lot of players here.
Team Secret are doing very much the same. Tap of that door, the Paranoia going to be flying through. Reverse setting up with that relay ball, trying to close the gap, trying to find some damage, but will get cut down to size. As it is looking like a Team A situation here for Global Esports, as Berserk's now last one alive. Just that Guardian. Might just have to be another save angle here. As will drift his way back through upper. Will find a target onto Crystals. He goes pushing forward towards the defender's spawn. They're going to be anticipating that he's going to be a bit further away than he is, so kill to be found, but Patman on the case will swoop in, gets the headshot. Global Esports will be able to break away from Team Secret for the moment.
They're so ready for these trap plays that Team Secret has tried to run. Saw it on split on A Heaven, and this round again, they're looking to explode at the drop of the toxic screen, and GE's just taking their time, waiting it out. They've got crossfires galore, and looks a little bit disjointed as well from Team Secret. Kind of one by one, they were trying to flood in there, and
Let's do it up.
Global Esports just sitting them down. And here's the timeout. So Robotics probably going to talk a little bit more about those A rubble fights, I would assume. I think maybe, again, just making sure that they know where that util needs to be, who needs to be where and when and how.
That is a quite good drawing of Frost.
That's pretty good. Not bad.
The only thing that would have made it more accurate would be putting a hat on.
That's true.
Sign here, Possessed, who is actually doing a guest spot on the Korean analyst desk.
Yep.
Had Saya player yesterday, which was very nice to see him.
That's second time, actually. He was on last week.
He's done plenty as well just through the past several years since he had stepped away from playing. So, always good to see him around the studio. I'm sure that there's been plenty of English fans wondering what he's been up to since he has formally retired from playing. So he is still involved in the VCT scene.
Things you love to see, and things GE is loving to see, is the rounds they've been running and the ult cycle they've been able to find themselves in.
Face your fear!
It's the Nightfall, just to try to slow down this rubble fight, but by proxy.
I mean, clear on that TP now. Barreling forward, showstopper in hand, sees the door isn't broken, turns his sights towards upper, but Prowler will get the connection. Just going to be lobbing that one in, creating some space. At the same time, as that wall will expire, the plant can come through, so fairly fast hit forward here for Global Esports. His barrier mesh considered for a moment, but ends up going over towards upper. Sonic sensors placed as well over towards that connector, but yeah, it is just going to be the full rewrap in fact. Meanwhile, Crystal on the late linger. Heard that second player pushing forward, but doesn't actually get the bounce to get the connection onto Rimuru. We'll just stick around, try to see if that push ends up coming in, but it's going to be a full reroute for the Neon. And playing forward, a knife attempt here for Kelly S.
Vision.
Fellow countryman's going to be wise to that one, so does manage to avoid the blade. Bobby scaling forward, able to find Rimuru, trying to take point, lead, create some space, guide the team forward for this retake, but action like that, that can get it going, but Hobby comes away with 3 massive kills, and Patman will have the finisher. Timeout not to be. Global Esports now very much running away with this half after a very contentious start. Up by 3.
Such a nice quick pivot here for Global Esports. Lose the rubble fight and just immediately slam into B, set up your deadlock util there. So Crystal kind of tee himself up for some freebies. Ooh, Hobby. Ooh, Hobby.
Let's go! Nice mid-round, Pat. Nice mid-round, Pat.
Yep. Oh, Pat
making
finding
the call
that
for
one.
the pivot.
That was a great pivot. The timing on that was so snappy, too.
Looking for this crunch play, and so far so good. Uttar able to find one, but Hobby still yet some fight in him. Comes away with that kill. Another. Hobby looking for the transfer. Can't quite find the third. Still been finding him with that Sheriff. Autumn spraying and praying. Not being rewarded until he finally paces forward out of the smoke. So kill to be found. Oh, Kelly S and Autumn.
Spike's still there.
And the recovery is just not going to be able to get the line of sight. But Autumn, does he decide to play further into this? The barrier mesh is now gone. Bit of a fake on the TP. There's a swoop in, and Autumn hits a headshot down to 15 health. Needing that headshot with that Sheriff, but it's going to be a Red Bull clutch. Another into the hands of Global Esports as they lock up a lead at the half.
Yeah, love the idea here from Team Secret. This looked very Paper Rex to me. Just slam out a mound like that with the Neon leading the charge, but a great haunt in response from Patman. Catches a lot of them. They still frag their way out of it. Yeah, Autumn was down to 70 HP. Sylvan, oof. Oh, man. I mean, if he was just a little weaker, he just gotten tagged up a little bit more. Early grab net. No need to follow. Team Secret wants to put Berserks over here on the A side again. Trying to shore up this space, and they're going to try for that 3-man push. Let's see if GE falls for this again. There's no util behind this to get the read on it. But they're slowed up, and now they're kind of like, this looks a little familiar.
Eyes turn towards that lobby for a brief little moment, but they will just commit 4 or 5 players forward. But before the door is shut, Rimuru catches a glimpse and finds the shot. Hobby going to be taken down. Baramish trying to hold him off the annihilation, going to be popped as Crystal rides the rope. He rebounded it off the wall into stairs, would be able to find that kill. Will get the grab on the Kelly, yes, but the break is going to be possible as Berserk is right there. Standing by. Paranoia now connecting Uttar, frantically trying to break the angles, but he is just going to be broken. As Romero, massive round for the rookie. Comes away with 3 to get Team Secret up to 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's just almost a carbon copy of a couple rounds ago. One of the last ones that Team Secret won. Throw the Vice onto A, push 3 through mid B. And Global Esports just isn't ready for it. I thought they considered it for a moment, but the timing just caught him a little bit off guard. Nice work here. Sylvan hit a great paranoia, by the way. It hit 2 players, hit Yudotan as well. Even though Rimuru didn't get him initially, he was able to follow up and finish the job as Autumn was trying to bail out of heaven.
This ends up being a bit of an overheat from Global Esports. Confident enough that there's going to be a player at that stairs location. Why not just bank it off the wall instead of trying to, shotgun them with the ultimate? No. Poor decision from Crystal. Well, so just keep eyes off that lobby position with no util behind them. Let's see though if Global can make this an 8-4. Team Secret rally back in these last 2.5. Utah wanting to try to go for that break on the wall, but spams out will force him back away. So for now, it will remain standing.
Feeling like a pivot though. Saw some pings earlier, so GE kind of had this in mind from the get-go. They're going to throw an Omen smoke over towards C to keep that extra player in place. It's going to be on to Sylvan and Rimuru. This time, Rimuru last time had tried to take that fight on the other side of Rubble. This time he's sliding back to work with Sylvan. Like the adjustment there, that's really nice. Don't give anything up for free. So a little bit of a micro adjustment from the newbie. Looking pretty smart, pretty sharp. Now you're putting yourself in a pretty decent position to play out this Nightfall potentially.
Paranoia in, he's going to be overwhelmed so very quickly. Sylvan still a tree. Making the TP across, but Javi is there, swooping through the door. On that punish, Jesse Bash dead on arrival. Now a 2v4 to try to play out. Now you meant to break these angles. Sees out onto the corner, Patman scaling forward through the nebula. Waiting here for this exit out of stairs. Berserk's on the other side. Still able to get the jump, so Patman will fall, but damage is dealt. He's down to 30. He's trying to find something on the tap of that door. Meanwhile, the high-low, having managed to get one. Give Kelly a window back into this, but now he knows exactly what he's up against around the corner, and you still have Javi swooping around the back. It's being a wee bit whiffy. So Kelly has to collect one, but nothing more. 8-4. Very close at the start. Global Esports found their stride and were able to break away from Team Secret.
Yeah, this one just a little bit of an off timing here. The Nightfall just a hair behind Rimuru, peaks before it gets ripped, or right as it gets ripped, and that's before you can really kind of take advantage of what's going on with that ultimate. So as much as I credited him for a minor adjustment in the beginning part of that round versus something I saw that was a problem earlier on in that half, there were still mistakes with the timing, and that cost them dearly. Because if they wait that Nightfall out and just hold crossfires, I think then it's a much different affair.
4-round deficit now. Patman having a very good game so far. That being said, I mean, it's tight-knit across the board here for Global Esports at the moment. No one really having the carry pants on.
Well, it is Lotus. It is attacker's side now. You know, that is generally where you want to do your damage. It's just Team Secret fans praying.
Please, one match.
Just one more map. At the very least. Hard to say, but 4 doesn't feel like it might. I don't know.
And that was their side selection on Lotus.
Oh, God.
Or rather, it was Global, so that is... I'm sorry, or I'm happy for you. But I ain't reading that.
I saw a bunch of like Team Secret wins, and then I gave up.
Even if it was in English,
yeah.
I don't think that I would be able to read it in time.
No, I didn't.
No. But I can assume that it's just full of well wishes for Team Secret, who have the lead at the moment in pistols, 2-1 in this series. Let's see if they can expound upon that. start the run back, much like they were able to do on Split. Autumn on the push out, able to spot 2. Takes a bit of damage, answers some back onto Rimuru in kind.
Didn't know we had Herman Melville in the audience today.
I feel like not many people, no one's gonna know.
That's fine. I get it. You get it. I had to read that book in high school, okay? That's all I'm saying. Wasn't that bad. All right, so throwing some smokes out, trying to set this up, leaving a late player. Our Team Secret. This looks like they're going to try to pivot into B, maybe. God, this is going to be tough, man.
Prowler on the spot, Javi holding close. Paranoid not going to be connecting, but Berserks with a headshot absolutely will. He goes down. Jesse Bash going to be traded out of the paint shell as well. Able to find Berserks. Gravnet on the assist. Yes, on this late lurk, but it looks like Autumn has a read on it. It's a recycle on the paint shells that ends up coming through, but Rimuru with that bandit. Ooh! Finds 2 quick kills, but Crystal gets rid of Sylvan and gets rid of the Neon. 2-2 in pistols, now 9-4 on Lotus. Global Esports looking to bring this one to a close.
Yeah, just watching that from afar, you don't have much ability to clear B Heaven. And they do it with their guns initially, but the follow-up, oh, the spam through from Uttar gets one on top of that paint shells that follows up. Nasty couple bandit shots. Crystal, so calm under pressure.
Nice!
He's looking all over the place. I love it, man. Just checking everything.
Looking for a pacey hit, but a pacey shutdown. Perhaps in reply is Autumn in fire. Hobby getting a quick little transfer over. Flawless anti-eco. Double ditches established now for Global Esports.
Well, now has to be a very clean rest of the half for Team Secret. Yeah, we saw it on Split where they were able to string some together, make a run of it, but right now it's starting to look a little bit dire. Losing that anti-eco in the previous half was really devastating overall, and starting to see some of the ramifications of it. But
I mean, it's been a big rebound from 0-5 and 0 to 12-10-2. Javi now on the top of the board.
They one way C, they one way C.
Get the angle on C, boys.
Oh, they still there. Yeah, they still there.
You can cross bang. Marking.
Quick break at the wall. Berserks unable to find a counter spam. Get a punish through. Look at the firepower here for Global Esports.
God, he was sitting in a star. I'm worried about getting Nova pulsed or something there, but they just used the smoke, clear the angle.
Put the the paint shells out. Autumn at the same time. The paranoia will fly as he backs away through the baby door, and this is the A site completely open. So Global Esports quickly going to have to reposition. Meanwhile, Berserk still continuously being held at bay outside of B. Site open for the taking. Team Secret get the spike in play.
Still have a couple blast packs here. Create some chaos on this Flood retake. Got all 5 players. Patman has a couple pieces of util to throw at this. Grab net 2.
Oh, yes, the quick spot. Autumn dead. Double approach going to be heard. Noted. Sylvan able to find the one. Kellius with another. Patman now.
Toxin screen down.
Looking to try to put the cape on, but will be denied. 3K from Kellius. It's Team Secret, the anti-bonus. 5-round deficit to try to claw back into this game.
Yeah, just pretty stock standard stuff here from Team Secret in terms of not losing any of those early contact fights. Zerk's doing a nice job just controlling his space. Not giving anything up for free. Take the pivot over to the wide open site. Set up those post plants. Knock him down.
Nice, let's go, boys.
Very sturdy. It gives you a little bit of hope here as we go into the rifle v rifle. You can do some damage. If you get the win onto this, put Global Esports back onto an eco, you should start feeling pretty good. Patman considering a challenge. Oh, he was right above Berserk's head.
He is so lucky to not even take a lick of damage there.
Both of them. Both of them were just off. Look at how much space, though, you've taken here as Global Esports.
Well, a little bit of that space denied. Zilatan now also going to fall. Big kills found here. As even with the deficit, I'd be curious if Frost elects to call for a timeout. Again, Crystal, trying to make sure that it's not necessary, but there is a gap, that barrier mesh. They can just walk right past the front of it. So Sylvan does so. Net going to be removed, and the kill is found. Now it's just Patman and Javi trying to see if they can pull a rabbit out of the hat.
That barrier mesh just felt like
went deep.
It did, but it felt like it was more of like a bait. He was going to throw it, try to break their crosshairs while they're tracking it, and then go for the kill, and that's kind of what happened. I just don't know that it's an optimal play. You do have one player here, Patman.
30 seconds left.
Who, man, he's going to have to go absolutely bonkers. Needs at least 2. I mean, 3 would be amazing. 4 is not possible because Kelly S is chilling in spawn. Time, though, man. Time. Oh, okay.
Well, time indeed, but it will be
Spike
Javi
planted.
just finding that last little kill here onto Kelly S. And now tucking away to try to go for the save. Still a bit of a smile on his face there at the end of that. He knew that he was lucky to survive the fight, but this is going to be Team Secret once again. Finding themselves a round win, closing the gap, just 4 separating after this.
Yeah, and you do a ton of economic damage to Global Esports here. Javi just down to 30 HP, so he's going to have to rebuy shields. Everybody else down to basically broke. Yudotan at 500 credits sitting in the back pocket. Does have a rocket there too, but it is going to be uncomfortable for Global Esports to say the least. Just, again, solid sort of map reads, understanding your gaps, giving up that A space, and Global Esports, as we saw on Split, is very eager to gobble up any free space you give them. They're playing Monopoly out there, and Team Secret's just like, okay, we got to hold the line. They do exactly that. So, I think I'm seeing some of the kind of big picture map-to-map changes that Team Secret has been implementing that I've seen, and I've liked some of it. Otherwise, some of these rounds you just get bullied because you have so many fraggers on Global Esports that Team Secret has to play really, really near perfect rounds to not give up anything. So Global Esports is hungry to press their advantages. Nice elbow.
Dead.
Yep.
Toxin screen down.
Solid opening kill. Cracks open that A side of the map. But Team Secret, they're still wary that there's going to be some shenaniganry here from Global Esports. So they just get them to kind of fan out across the map for the moment. Right around a minute remaining.
Autumn's got this
pushing.
Yeah, he's got this shotgun, so at least gives you a little bit of comfort to lean A since he's pushed up. Again, that showstopper very much should be in the back of Team Secret's minds.
Well, full armors should make it difficult for the Frenzy to really find significant value, and it looks like they're not even going to go for him. Will be a bit of a circumnavigation. Run around the back. Patman. Sheriff in hand, maybe try to take point and slide in. Does manage to find that headshot. Able to peel back around the corner as well, and this is going to make Team Secret not feel comfortable to try to go for the plant. They have to flush them out. Flush them out, they shall. Berserks and Sylvan will want to pop the plant now to come through. Wall ends up getting popped as well. As Autumn, widely going to be wondering what the hell he can do. Try to close the gap and put this bucket to use. All the likelihood is going to need Utah to create a distraction, but he won't get it. Kelly S will be able to strike just a little bit faster. Doesn't have the read, however, on Utah's position, so the kill's still to be found. If Utah finds one more, especially on the Jesse Bash, he's going to feel way more inclined to potentially invest that showstopper, but the time is starting to bleed away. So it seems like it will just be a quick little exit, maybe a check down into drop. No, doesn't have the spot there. We'll just rotate out, try to hold on to the weapon, but Jesse's going to try to pursue in from behind, draws out the gun, but Yudotan will shut him down. So the punish cannot be found, but Team Secret still able to get another round victory. 3 in a row, and now just 3 more to go to tie it up.
Is this going to be
by
the pause of the clock?
Seems like no.
All right. Let's give him one more rifle, one more chance to get Javi to make the adjustment. Rimuru, some moments where he looks great on the Neon, others where I'm like, I think you need to kind of try a different approach there with the slides and the dashes. That one just kind of going face first into Patman's gun. Making it a little too easy, but at times he's been looked pretty solid on it. Still little bit of shakiness here and there. Now you got to be extra cautious, and I don't blame Team Secret at all with that showstopper there. One away from Crystal's ult too. They're not playing him into any of the orbs though. Just waiting on towards B. They're expecting a B hit. Team Secret is having to clear a prowler here. Kelly S. Doing that A rubble dance that sometimes you have to do as the Viper. You're all on your own. Trying to create some space, trying to create some chaos. Both prowlers though.
Yeah, sending out both. Just getting further confirmation that there is still a player there.
Kind of wonders if that's something that they're going to want to punish then, knowing that that fade's going to be a little bit lower on Util.
Well, now they're down on both sides. Jesse Vash has invested his as well. So corner checks as they lean back into the stacked A site. Gonna start being a little bit rougher. Shots out from Automate stairs. Does get a connection there on the Berserks.
I was going to say, the crosshair's right on him.
Ooh.
Face your fear!
Avoid further damage suffered, but Nightfall going across. Only going to hit on the Crystal. Berserks, however, finds Autumn. Patman across the way. Their side wants to try to pressure out Berserks and Chow, but now the numbers are dwindling for Global Esports. The pit now in play. Haunt going to be sent out, and Patman is contained by his own teammate's barrier mesh. And they just have to break it if they want to actually try to make a go of it. Otherwise,
They just can't.
yeah, save call. Javi's tagged up. Maybe just planted for some exits, perhaps.
But why? You want to get Patman one for the ult, that's it.
Good thing. Well, you know, just gonna be happy to get a kill and get away. Team Secret continuing to march their way back into this game. 4 rounds now in a row, just 2 separating, and you have to think that Frost is going to commit that second and final time out of the map, as this is very much starting to get away from them. Team Secret been finding comfort round over round.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just really patient.
But the timer continues to tick.
Oh boy. I mean, sometimes Frost will do this where he wants to give his IGLs a chance to figure it out on their own, to kind of have to experience that in the heat of the moment, to try to get them to learn.
If
But-
only he could see, he's more like Termy than he thinks.
I was thinking it. I was thinking that. I'm glad you said it, because I wasn't going to.
Well, nearly a stack deck, so maybe Frost is just relying on that. That 5 ults, but there goes one of them, Utah.
There.
Scaling forward, taking that space at lobby, but no kill to be found. They will get Patman entrenched forward as the Nebula will dissipate, and now he's got to back away.
But this is the same thing that Team Secret is anticipating in the previous round, and here they have a very similar setup at the beginning of the round where they're looking for that showstopper play. Into the spawn?
Autumn just trying to get the hell out of dodge. TP's in behind them, in fact. Meanwhile, Patman trying to hold the line up close is good for the first kill, but then falls to the wayside as Berserks comes away with another. But do they read this at all? It seems like they have. The slow approach to try to re-clear it, but Berserks not quite ready, but Autumn is only going to be able to find the 1 kill. So still into a 3v3. Global Esports starting to get a misread, scattered to the winds across this map.
Well, you know it's probably not C, but the barrier mesh just dropped. So now, if you take a little bit of a pause here as Team Secret, you might get them to spread out. They're pinging out Crystal's position. He has the Annihilation. They know that this is another threat in this round. And if they could get through that, they've got a real chance to break GE and win this map.
Man, it feels like 20 seconds remaining. Use of the... Okay, never mind. I'll have to hold that thought, because that's just going to be them getting mowed down. There's the final dragon. I was going to say the Cosmic Divide could just lock them out pretty much of everything on the map, but they didn't need it. Annihilation will be able to claim 1. The net locking them in position, and the kills are found. So Global Esports, it took a while. 4 rounds in a row given over to the Secret, but they will be able to win one of their own. Still 2 away from closing out this series.
A big win there for Patman. And again, I think just a little bit of a positioning there from Berserks where he didn't realize that he could be seen around that corner. Thought him tucked in. They knew somebody was, he knew he was back there, but nothing you can do at that point. They knew it was there. Team Secret knew it was there, and there's just nothing they can do about it.
Crystal said, how did I ult him?
ricocheted off the ground.
Yeah, he got it off the I think the ground into the wall and bounced up into him.
Yeah.
Either way, pacey hit attempt here from Team Secret. Not wanting to let Global Esports get up to match point. Slide into the back of sight, and Crystal is there, greeting him with a headshot. Mamoru now dead. Jesse Bash joining him 6 feet under as Kelly S fights back for one. Patman gone. That cleared out, but now the arrival, Uttar here on the site, swoops in, finds Berserks.
There.
Yes, with a second. Can they fight this one out? No, they cannot. There's one more to be found, but Crystal rock steady here on A. Holds the line, gets a 3K, and Global Esports get up to match point.
Just the heroics of Crystal. It's going to be the difference maker in this round. They try to lead the way with the Prowler, but it doesn't. Check the corner. Goes deep. And he just has the grab net ready for the follow-up, and Jesse's stuck in it. Has to try to go for the one tap.
Timeout.
Crystal's just too good for it. Robotic's going to dig in. See if he can bail out Team Secret in this final timeout, potentially, of the series here. Need to win 4 in a row just to send it to OT now. So I guess it's just these little things kind of kill Team Secret. Some of the macros not bad, but at the end of the day, the pound for pound, Global Esports just is deeper in a lot of different categories. I think this map definitely, in my eyes, looks a little bit rougher for Global Esports than their split does, but
yeah.
But still, there's a lot of good things that they do. The individual moments and their kind of big picture decision making gets the job done. They're constantly showing you different looks, trying to keep you guessing, make you think. That right there was a brand new one. It caught Team Secret completely off guard.
Well, now, a weaker buy to try themselves back into this. Economy is a bit all over the place for Global Esports. Should be able to afford another one, so it's going to take a couple of rounds in a row for Team Secret to break that economy, but if they can get a couple rounds in a row, then we're likely slated for overtime all the same. Once again, looking for a quick scale forward. Patman just going to be sending out the Nightfall. Action on the 3 players. They note the stack is there, and look at these Sharks swooping in around the back.
There.
Chum in the waters. They are looking to chomp, swing out. Finding the timing there on that reload is Rimuru. He's just able to zap too. Bobby dead as well, and suddenly, this crunch play, it's absolutely shattered by Team Secret.
Show that from Rimuru's perspective. He got double headshots.
Patman trying to intercept somebody, but they've already made their way back across into A lobby. They can be fast on this chase. Berserks is dead, so the early alert of the wall not going to be triggered behind them. But they're just going to reroute anyway. Just go for a save.
Love the boldness. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good call from Global Esports. Just got outplayed a little. So a better reaction from Team Secret. I'm not too fussed over that round at all as a Global fan. Sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes the Neon just gets those lightning fingers to connect to your head and it's lights out.
I want to see that one back because
oh yeah,
I don't remember. I'm not sure which player it was, but going for the reload wide out in the open.
Oh.
Ends up dying on that C side. I mean, I don't think they'd empty the mag. So I think they had plenty of bullets. They could have just maintained position on the angle with the gun out, but I'll have to try to see if we can spot it in the replay. Either way, that ends up being very costly. A window back in for Team Secret.
Gotta go.
We wait.
There we go.
The hobby?
Maybe.
Oh.
Probably.
So let's go. 3 more rounds, boy. 3 more rounds. Come on.
I'm out of here.
That is correct math. 3 more to go. But you kind of put the fear into Team Secret, I'm sure, a little bit with a lot of these early, overly aggressive rounds from Global Esports. So now they're going to try to use that against Team Secret.
Ultimate ready.
Play a little bit safer.
Crystal might not have a rifle, but he does have that Annihilation. But Uttar has himself spotted on the walkout. Elias can't quite connect on the headshot. That would have been a massive opener for Team Secret.
Wall set.
It's going to be the wall set up. Very wary about these aggressive flanks.
Gotta go.
Prowler check around mound. It is just a
There.
Lone Star as well. That Sonic sensor ready to greet them, but now the barrier mesh going to be layered in as well.
It's just needs to be a quick clear of this and try to put what pressure you can. They're even gonna rip the steel garden.
Yeah, sending it out. They're not sure where the rifles are going to be positioned, so steel garden not really going to net them too much as this barrier mesh finally will be broken. 3 players close by. Autumn still a world away. Making sure there's no late linger, no massive flank to come through. As Seized Aid going to be lobbed in. Rimuru going to be dead to rights. Uttar able to find him. He gets ushered further forward. The plant now interrupted. As the net gets lobbed in, now the Annihilation. Ready to be banked, but it's going to be Yudo again, spamming, interrupting this spike plant. It's 20 seconds to go. Sylvan on high here. Top of the box, able to find it, but the Annihilation had connected. Berserk's now going to be taken down. Sylvan finds himself a third.
Player standing.
Got
He's
ace
gonna have
again.
to find anything, but he also needs to try to get the spike in play. Gets the plant, looks for the shot, but gets denied. Patman will find the kill, and Global Esports will find the series win, 13-9 in both of these maps. Contact your city council. The traffic lights are broken. Global Esports able to find the back-to-back round wins.
Yeah. I mean, a really solid series from Global Esports. You got big smiles from Frost. Has to like the way that Crystal started to play that deadlock as the map went on. He was so oppressive. The way they were able to cycle that util 2 on that last round. So challenging. Just checking on Numeru, but he seems fine. I think he had a little bit of a rough one today, but still, again, new to VCT Pacific, new to Team Secret. And still some encouraging signs for Secret. There's slow progress forward. It's just, is it gonna be enough this year?
Right. Clearly, that growth potential is there. Respect and hugs going to be exchanged here. Global Esports off to a roaring start. I mean, we had the stat card earlier. Already, more wins in a year than the organization has ever seen.
That's
with
true.
The strongest iteration that they have put on display. This is a team that is slated for very great things within VCT Pacific. And so far, you have to drop a map.
Yeah, this should be them in the playoffs for the first time ever. It feels like, barring something catastrophic.
Which, given the pace, given what we're seeing, seems unlikely, but we will knock on wood just in case. Not to be overly superstitious. Let's go ahead and send it down to Bella's going to be standing by with a winner's interview.
Well, it's a wholesome moment that we just saw, and I'm going to talk to Yudo-tan today. 안녕하세요, Yudo-tan. 안녕하세요. Patman just mimicking me. 글로벌 e스포츠의 유도탄 선수 만나보겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다. Well, Frost curse. I don't think it's a curse anymore. It's just like Patman called it. After taking your first win here at Stage 1, there is no more curse. Now, today's match, I think it went a little bit longer than everyone expected. I wanted to hear your take on how your match against Team Secret with their newest addition, Rimuru, was like for you. 이제 오늘 경기로 프로스트 감독님의 저주가 없어졌다라고 봐도 무방할 것 같아요. 팬맨 선수가 얘기했듯이 첫 번째 승리를 스테이지 1에서 하고 나서 오늘 2연승까지 챙겨가면서 저주가 이제 없다고 봐도 되는데 오늘 경기가 조금은 더 길게 갔잖아요. 팀 시크릿의 새로운 팀원 리무루 선수 이제 합류하고 나서 좀 어떠셨는지 들어보고 싶습니다.
솔직히 말하면 팀 시크릿을 상대하기 전에 되게 까다로울 것 같았는데 생각한 대로 약간 상대하는데 되게 예상치 못한 플레이들이 좀 많은 것 같았어가지고 좀 그렇게 많이 힘들진 않았지만 생각했던 대로 좀 까다로웠던 약간.
Coming into today, I thought today's matchup against Team Secret was going to be a little bit tricky, and as we all predicted, it was a little bit unexpected. We saw some unexpected plays on their end, and it wasn't too rough, but I would say that I was genuinely impressed at how different they were looking. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the teams here, they're adjusting to the meta change. They're trying something new, trying to find their own identity. And, you know, Autumn shared his part on how GE was trying to find your own you guys' own color. And I wanted to ask you, we saw you back on the primary duelist role. Was that your idea? Is that a secured role? Tell me all about what that talk has been like for you.
이제 모든 팀들이 메타에 좀 적응을 하면서 새로운 시도를 도전해보고 있긴 한데 글로벌 e스포츠도 지난번에 어텀 선수가 좀 우리만의 색깔을 찾으려고 하고 있다, 다양한 시도를 주고 있다라고 얘기를 했었는데 또 유도탄 선수가 다시 일선 타격대를 독점을 하는 모습을 보여줬습니다. 이게 고정인 건가요? 본인은 좀 어떻게 느끼고 있는지 들어보고 싶습니다.
일단 우선 팀에서 네온을 담당할 선수가 필요했는데 일단 네온을 전에 해봤던 경험이 있는 제가 네온을 하면서 자연스럽게 엔트리 자리를 제가 맡고 어텀 선수가 원래 예전부터 되게 플렉스 롤을 담당했던 친구라서 그 친구가 이제 플렉스 롤 하고 그래서 제가 엔트리를 담당하게 된 것 같습니다.
만족하시나요?
네, 만족하고 있습니다.
Well, we needed a player on the team that's had Neon experience, and you know that was me. I was up for it, and you know, as Autumn is a flex player, we thought that he should take on the flex role, and I naturally ended up taking the entry role. And I asked him, "Are you happy with that adjustment?" And he said, "Yeah, so far it's been all good." And next up, you have 2 wins in the bag. Next up is KRX. We have a lot of excitement, anticipation for that matchup. Are you confident that you're gonna have another dominant 2-0 win? Let me hear all about it. 다음 경기는 KRX를 만나게 됩니다. 정말 많은 분들이 기대를 하고 있는 매치기도 한데 이전에 했던 경기들만큼 2대0으로 이렇게 좀 보시나요?
일단 이번 스테이지 1 시작하고 나서 제일 힘든 경기가 될 거라고 예상하고요. 준비 잘해서 상대해야 될 것 같습니다.
네, 좋습니다. I think so far it would be the trickiest match that we'll be having here at stage 1. So we are going to do our best and prep well, and hopefully wish that we take that win. All right, that was Global Esports' Yudotan for the interview. 유도탄 선수.